This is it, folks. This is the one you've been waiting for. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. You know it's Sam Roberts Now because it's now, and it's me. We're live on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. I can see you in the chat if you're watching live, and the only way you know when we're live is if you follow us across all forms of social media at Sam Roberts Now, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Of course, it's youtube.com/notsam. And look who the cat dragged in.
I have been waiting.
This is Nicole Biggins.
No, it's not my name. It is Nicole Ryan. And I think I've been waiting my entire career to get into your basement, Stan.
I think you have
I just
too.
called you Stan.
That's
oh my God.
really insulting.
I'm sorry.
So you are now known as Nicole Ryan.
I am.
Of course, people know you from the Morning Mashup on SiriusXM.
Yeah.
You were once known as Nicole Biggins on the Morning Mashup on SiriusXM. Did anybody stop and talk to your boss and say, the Morning Mashup is a family show, right? So we're taking our one female host and making her name a joke about that she has large breasts.
It was when I joined the show. It was a different climate. You know what I mean? Things were different.
We're now living in a post Matt Lauer world.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was a joke. And it's not. My name was Nicole Biggins because my maiden name, my real name, was like not really radio friendly.
Salpita.
Yeah, it just didn't really work. It didn't flow off the old tongue. So we never like explained on the air like why. It wasn't like big guns. Get it? My boobs are huge.
What could it possibly else could it be referring to?
I don't know. It just sounded like Higgins, Riggins, Biggins. It was just like another, like it was like another last name. I think
there was a meeting about you that they were like, what makes Nicole Nicole? What is it about Nicole that well?
Tits are huge.
Yeah, she's got those tits. What else? I don't know. She was a receptionist. Okay, so we'll go with the tits then. Yeah. Biggins.
I mean, I didn't have any problem with it. I've never really been easily offended. Again, it was a different climate then. I'm sure that name would not have
probably
would have flown over too well now. But yeah, then I got married and Ryan was a perfectly suitable name, so we just changed.
You decided to rebrand yourself at that point.
We got rid of the Biggins.
But when you rebranded yourself, wasn't there a moment if you were like, wait a minute, I just realized how like horribly inappropriate Biggins has been the whole time. This is a terrible thing.
I don't think I ever really loved it, but I knew that it sounded better than Salpeter. So I just was like, you know what? I'm fine. Who cares? It's a joke. Like, I'm young. Like,
plus, in the beginning, you're probably so happy to get on the air.
I didn't care.
You're like, call me whatever you want. You can call me
like Nicole Slutface. I would have been like, yes,
here's
I'm on
Nicole
the radio.
Pussy Lips from the Morning Mashup.
100%. I would have been all over it.
Well, I'm glad, but you've now experienced enough.
Yeah.
That you're like, no. I have a name. I'm a person with an identity that goes beyond sexuality.
Yeah, and every once in a while we'll be doing an event or something, and people that have been listening for a very long time will be like, "Look, it's Nicole Biggins," and I'm like, "No, it's not."
Right.
But
that's not my name.
It's not my name. I'm Nicole Ryan.
Nobody calls me that anymore.
Yeah, I'm happy to separate myself from Biggins.
You've got a nice holiday rasp to your voice.
It's not really a holiday rasp. You're lucky you got me today because if I come to visit you yesterday, it literally sounded like this.
Really?
I woke up and
maybe I would have been more like you yesterday.
Yeah, maybe. Thanks. I've always got laryngitis, but it's like really bad this time, and I think it's very annoying to listen to me right now. I don't think it's sexy at all.
How do you get? I don't know. People like a rasp.
I know, but this is like an
it probably
annoying
depends
rasp.
on what you're saying. I think people, even if you have a rasp, if you're just like going over in great detail why your nickname was Biggins, people are gonna be like, yeah, tell me more. Yeah. Use that rasp.
Say it again.
But if you start going over like, hey, here's the new Kesha song, they're like, oh, what's up with that rasp?
Yeah, Which
is unfair.
It is unfair. I'd like to thank your lovely wife for giving me some hot tea.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I was told if I take a shot of Scotch, lemon juice, and honey, that was
Scotch.
And I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Who told you that?
My mom.
Oh, I guess.
She actually used to give that to me when I was a kid, and I had laryngitis, which is completely irresponsible.
Was that also a different climate?
It was a different climate then,
I see.
when you were allowed to give your children booze.
Right. I didn't realize that there was ever, I guess, the mid-'80s were a different time.
She wasn't saying like get loaded, but like it brought my voice back a little bit. I haven't done it.
How much Scotch would you drink when you had laryngitis?
It was like she took a shot glass and put a little bit of Scotch, or a whole shot of Scotch.
What's known as a shot?
A shot of Scotch, and then she would squeeze in a little
lemon.
Would
you get drunk?
I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't remember.
You definitely, if you're an 8-year-old who takes like if I took a shot of Scotch now at 34,
you'd be like wasted.
I'd be loaded.
Yeah, but that's because you don't drink.
Oh, were you a heavy drinker at 8?
I mean, See, is that hot?
Right. Now imagine if you have the drinking history of me,
right?
But you have the size of an 8-year-old.
Yeah, you're right. I probably would. Again, like I said, I don't really remember. Hence, it probably was loaded.
Yeah, that's not the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Was there other was alcohol remedies for other things as a child, or just laryngitis?
I think just laryngitis. Not that I can remember, but you never know with
there
my
wasn't
mom.
like, oh, you've got a stomach flu. Vodka's really good for that.
No, she's like, hey, take a hit of this. Which, you know, if you are nauseous, you smoke a little bit of pot, and
That's
you definitely feel like it settles your stomach 100%, and makes your cramps go away. For girls, makes your cramps go away. So
Hey,
yeah, take a little hit of the reefer.
do you ever do that on the mashup? Advocate for medical use of marijuana?
I do not, but I feel safe. Again, in this climate these days, I feel as though it's okay. Like, it's legal so many places now.
Here's the thing. Yeah, it's a weird time we're in, because if 20 years ago you were like, yeah, I'm going to give my kids Scotch for laryngitis, and I'm going to, call this DJ
CPS is called
Big Busty Nicole or whatever, people wouldn't sit there and go like, well, that is where the future's going. So, but I think now, like, if people go back on tapes and be like, in 2017, Nicole was advocating for the use of medical marijuana, like 3 years from now, people will be like, yeah, of course she would. Like, it's legal everywhere.
Right. Like, people are going to look back and be like, why were people making such a big deal?
I think about, as far as weed goes, yes.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure there's few other things that we've chatted about,
that are probably not going to age
change
quite as well.
Exactly.
But the weed, that's where you want to focus on, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with the weed now. I think the weed is fine. I mean, it helps so many different things. Like I said, you have an upset stomach, take just a quick hit, you're going to be good to go.
Right. It's like Pepto.
Just like
nausea, heartburn, indigestion.
Screw Pepto.
Right.
You just need a little bit of bud. And you're
right.
good to go.
That's good. That's what the business that Pepto should get in, is medical marijuana. Just have a pink stream.
It really does make you feel better. I know that you don't. So, hello, Lila.
That's Lila.
I know that you don't, but I mean, have you ever been really, really nauseous?
Never. I've never been nauseous.
I mean, telling you.
Yes, I've been nauseous.
All right.
before.
Well, I mean, what day?
But you know what? I drink fizzy water. Fizzy water and dry toast.
Oh, God, you're such a child. You're
what are you
like
talking
7.
about?
First of all, who calls it fizzy water?
My mom.
It's like the nerdiest thing that you've ever said.
Well, what do you say?
You've said some very nerdy
I have
things.
a nice seltzer.
I don't know. Yeah.
What do you say? I have a club soda when I'm feeling nauseous.
Soda water. I don't. Fizzy water sounds so like juvenile for some reason.
Fizzy water.
Fizzy water. Okay.
That's why I go, like, if I don't like a soda, I'll be like, it's not fizzy enough. Jess, my soda's not fizzy.
More bubbles.
And she goes, okay, let me talk. Excuse me, Sam needs more bubbles in his soda.
Wouldn't be shocked if that's actually been a conversation that's gone down upstairs.
No, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So I actually, I was thinking about it recently, because, we have a kid now. He's 10 months.
You do. He's very delicious.
And I was thinking about, like, all the times when we were doing Sam Roberts' show in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So much more now.
Thank you.
Because you would not only, because I'd be like, just come in.
Oh, and like
do the night show, stay for the whole time.
Yep.
Stop being annoying about it.
Yep.
Sleep for 3 hours.
Exact words.
Go do the morning show, and you'll be fine. But, like, I never even considered, and then also raise a child, or at 1.2.
Yeah, I think some of the time I had one, and then some of the time I was actually pregnant, which made me more tired and uncomfortable. And you still told me to suck it up and be a man and come in and literally sleep for maybe 2 to 3 hours.
But aren't you glad you did it?
I am glad. I loved it. It was some of my favorite times were those couple hours with you.
But I do have more respect for you now.
Yeah.
Because there's a kid, and I'm like, I don't think I would do that. If Nicole was like, hey, you want to come in and do my show tonight? I'd be like, what? You crazy? I have a kid in a morning show. I'm not doing that.
I mean, but let's call speed to speed. I mean, are you ever really the one getting up in the middle of the night?
No.
Why would you ever do such a thing?
Jess, you just walked in front of the camera.
Oh, hey, Jess, we love you. No, it's that wonderful woman who gets up for you.
She does. I find out when I wake up if the baby slept through the night or not.
I literally want to stab you.
She's like, good news, the baby slept through the night. It was a real tough night. And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, great,
I
care
guess.
a lot.
Seemed like it, probably.
So you're telling me, even though you do not wake up to help with the baby, I don't
have the titty milk.
I don't care. Okay, you can still help and be there for moral support. You're telling me if I had a show at the same
Moral
time
support.
that you, whatever, stay up, hang out, chat with her.
Give me an I. Give me an L. Give me a K. Milk.
So you can stay. So you're not waking up, but you have a child now. You wouldn't come in and do my show.
No, because it's so tiring in the afternoon when you know. It's so tiring to be like,
have fizzy water.
The kids running around, like I don't even have time to make myself a fizzy water. Like it just gets to be a lot.
You're just like living the life.
I am.
You really are.
How's your life been? It's been a while since we caught up with you.
I know. Things are good. I'm insane. I think I finally like hit a wall. I don't think I can I tried to stay cool and I still would rage it up and stuff. But
You're not partying as much, you're saying.
I just can't do it. My body's giving in on me.
Do you worry about things like, because you would talk about, especially specifically on like the shows that we were doing together.
Yeah.
Not so much the morning show, but the shows we were doing together.
Right.
You would talk about your partying ways and
Yeah.
kind of had a reputation for it. Is part of you like, that's kind of who I am. I can't stop partying. I'm going to disappoint people.
Right. Yeah.
I'm Nicole, the crazy party girl that
Yeah.
everybody kind of likes because, she's out of control.
And I was like really hell-bent on I am not going to let these kids ruin my life. Like they're like, I'm the boss. This is my life. They're going to fit into my life. And so if I feel like partying, someone will watch them. But
You're probably the only parent that's ever said that. It's not like every parent ever has failed at that.
Yeah, it's not really that easy. I mean, and guess what? They like Parker can still go to do her thing, but the baby, he needs me. I cannot be have no sleep and hungover.
Now,
and,
do you find yourself wanting to party less because you're like, I kind of want to be with the kid, or is it just I can't?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, I physically can't. I've tried. I've really given the good old college try. I'm gonna be a horrible parent and die and still try to take care of the kids, but it just physically doesn't really work anymore. But of course, I want to hang out with them. They're
So
fun.
how often are you partying now? Because for a while it was before you had kids, you honestly, I would see you in the morning during the commercial breaks of your morning show.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be hungover. You'd still be
Sometimes.
fucked up. You'd
Sometimes.
still be on substances.
It only happened a handful of times.
Handful enough. It's enough. That's never happened
But
to me.
you know what? I was committed and I still came and
The show, here's the thing. The morning mashup still sounded great.
Thank you. That's all that mattered, right?
But it's like when you're walking around the hallways of SiriusXM barefoot, you go oh my God, Nicole, what happened last night? And by the way, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, but you know what? Think about it.
What are we doing here? Should I be worried at this point?
First of all, I was probably wearing Uggs, and you don't wear socks with Uggs. And once I get into the studio, right now, I don't have shoes on. I'm comfortable.
You walk into a public kitchen in a radio station with your bare...
I was grabbing the water, okay? It was just a quick... Okay.
Gotta wash those toxins out somehow.
I was thirsty.
Right.
Okay?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to judge.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's just say this. 2018 needs to be drastically different.
So even in 2017, you were kind of going hard in the paint.
A little bit.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But I think it's got to be a wrap.
Really?
I think it's got to be a wrap. Yeah.
So what's a wrap for you? How often are we talking?
I have to sleep. That's the wrap.
You've never been that person.
Yeah. No, I need to sleep a little bit. Listen, I need to sleep. My body can't recover anymore. I used to be able to be I get up, have a little Gatorade, have a big egg of cheese, and I'm okay. And at least, if I slept for a couple hours, I physically am dead for a week if we go out and rage, and I just can't do it anymore.
Now, is your husband on board with this? Because
Yeah.
I mean, that there would always be you'd come in, and if you weren't, regardless, if you weren't partying or you were partying, it would still end up in this Sid and Nancy violent altercation where you were up all night regardless.
Yeah, I mean, he knows.
Am I wrong?
He's older.
Yeah, no.
He's older than me, so I mean, he I think feels even more than me is we need to take a little breather.
He does. So what's a breather then? How often are we talking in 2018? We're gonna have these uncontrollable evenings.
3 times a week.
3 times is, and that's
Cutting it down to
3 times a week. Okay.
No, it's not.
Minimum.
I feel it needs to be special occasions. We could still a drink.
Well, what is a special occasion? Because maybe just birthday and Christmas? Those are special occasions. That's twice a year.
I don't know, a big get together when all of our friends we haven't seen in a long time are getting together for a weekend, something like that.
You do that 20 times a year.
Well, then those are the times that we'll continue to party. Maybe 2018 won't be as different as I thought.
Yeah, because you have the same group of friends for years. Honestly, my personal theory is that none of you get along anymore for real. And because you've all grown separately, you're not actually friends anymore. But you're oh, we're getting all the girls together.
Yeah.
We gotta go paint the town red. And it's you just did that 2 weeks ago.
No, it's just so fun.
So how often do you think you're honestly gonna do it? Not how often do you want to do it. Realistically.
Realistically,
how many of those nights do you think you're going to end
once
up
a
having?
month? Is that fair? Oh no.
Do you think that's gonna happen,
Don't
Matt?
look at me. I don't have a morning show. I can still party.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
I would say once every
other month
week.
No.
So, okay, so
no.
twice a month we're looking at.
I
That's
like to drink a lot.
Yeah, but that's fine. I could go home at
so we're
night.
not all on board.
No, we're not all on board.
Right.
I could go out with friends and have a couple glasses of wine or more and come home and be fine. But it's we always just pass a point of no return, that needs.
That's that moment, right? That one, like, and it's always one drink or one whatever.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I've only heard things, and that's just
For me.
Just my husband said that, not me.
He likes Chappelle Show. That's all.
Yes. Oh, he's a huge fan. Who isn't?
He's just a Rick James guy. Ah.
Oh God, my kids are gonna be so proud of me one day.
But they're all Nicole. I mean, the things you did on the air before your kids got here, you really don't have anything to worry about anymore. It's over.
Okay.
But.
Thanks.
But there is always that one, like, there's the one drink, right? I've been there with my friends where it's like, if you're a guy, it's one drink.
Right.
Everyone's having a good time.
Right.
You have one drink, and you're just getting into fights. You know what I mean? Now nothing's fun. Somebody's going to be brought up on assault charges. And it's like if you just hadn't had the one drink.
Yeah.
One shot, one whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, we just passed the point of no return.
Well, because your inhibitions are down,
right?
And all of a sudden, like, you're feeling good, and you're like, and it just changes your whole mindset. So no matter what mindset you go into the night as, it's all after that one or two drinks that it just changes.
So you're gonna become a one party or a month type of gal. Where are you at right now, more or less? Every weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And you have two kids.
Yeah.
That's gotta be because you're a really good mom.
Yes.
I've seen you in mom mode.
Yes.
And like your kids are kind of incredible. They sleep when they're supposed to sleep.
Yes.
They behave themselves.
Yes.
You check out your Instagram.
Yeah.
They're with you all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I love them to death. They're the best.
You gotta grab that mic,
Oh,
Jay.
look at that.
I want to know how you look.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. She can work the mic. There you go.
Yeah, she
How do
can.
you
That's
look
how she got
so
me.
good?
Oh, Jess.
No,
I love
really.
you.
Oh my
How do you
God.
look this
How do you look so good?
Like,
Well,
I
let me
can't
tell
have
you.
any alcohol or I look a wreck.
I know,
That's true.
and I do on those days. I do, and I put on a little extra makeup, and Matt says I look like a clown.
A tranny
Like
is
a
actually
tra-
what I
yeah,
Is that
like-
what it is?
You go to, I always think I look better if I just put on a little bit more. I don't know. Like
Nobody can tell.
I look fine. That's my theme music.
Yeah.
That is as I walk around. I don't know. I mean, listen. When I came like during the week, like this week, like Matt probably hates me. I was sleeping maybe 7:45 most of the nights.
You were asleep at 7:45?
Yeah, like I catch up on my sleep, and so I
see.
I need to sleep more and more these
Yeah.
days.
So
And
that's-
it's made her sick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think she
Yeah.
should keep pushing the limits.
Yeah, that's true. Do you worry that like your body has become accustomed to this? Like there are pro wrestlers who talk about this.
Yeah.
When like they wrestle like every day, day in, day
Yeah.
out. The injuries do stack up and everything, but you don't start feeling the injuries
Right.
until you stop. And once you
Right.
stop,
Yeah.
everything hits you. I think there are athletes like football players who realize once they get older, everything was fine while they were still playing, but the minute they stop playing,
Yep.
they wake up the next morning and they feel everything.
Yeah.
Do you worry that if you stop your hard partying ways, your body will all of a sudden catch up to normal person speed and you'll
No.
age dramatically?
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
could.
Because like when it's like a week since I've like partied, I'm like, oh my God, it feels so good to be a human being. I don't feel like I
Right.
need to go back to party.
Well,
because
5 days to be fair. I don't think there's ever been a week since you've been partying
Oh,
that you
that's not
haven't
true.
that you
That
haven't
is not
actually
true.
made it up with other stuff.
I'm sure I've gone like maybe 2 weeks.
So you think that, and I'll tell you this, your tolerance is going to dip. So if you start shifting towards like once a month,
So I'll save some cash.
you're not going to be able to go back.
That's fine.
Meaning-
I would love it if I could have 2 glasses of wine and be like wasted. That would
Right.
be awesome.
One time Jess had like 2 glasses of wine and she just started shouting quotes from Slumdog Millionaire.
I mean, I'm not shocked by that. I can see that.
She just had 2 glasses of wine and she started acting like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire host
But like, I would
from
love.
Slumdog. She just started going, Millionaire!
I would love it if like I like.
And then she had one more glass and just
then-
started getting into a fight with whoever she could find. Just
That's
started
not
throwing
shocking.
bows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Matt will get like that sometimes.
I
He
could
like-
imagine
he
that.
likes to argue.
I could imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I would love that. Like, I would love to feel like giddy and laughy and hysterical and stupid and silly, like I was like in high school. I would love to be back to that point, but right now it takes so much more
Right.
to get me even close to what I think is fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody's just looking at you like you can't hang out with like your actual old friends who haven't seen you in a while because they're
Right.
like, you're totally out of control. She's like, no, this is just buzzed.
Not even there yet.
You
What do you
like
mean?
Andre the Giant level beers. Like, it's not good, Nicole. It's not good.
Yeah.
But the morning mashup's still going well. I
Yeah.
can't believe that how long you've been able to maintain a morning show, to tell you the truth.
Crazy. We just lost our producer. She's leaving, Alex. I'm kind of sad about that. We have a new guy. He's from Australia, and he's got this amazing accent.
Yeah?
Kind of obsessed with it.
How old is he?
That's a good question.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't care?
He's young. I feel
Yeah?
like he's in his mid-20s.
Good looking dude?
Yeah, he's handsome.
I'd love to be in my mid-20s with an Australian accent.
Right?
Be a good looking dude.
But he's having trouble like understanding people when he picks up the phone. He's like, he doesn't understand like our accent. Yeah, and they don't understand what he's saying, which I
Right.
kind of like. It's kind
Why
of
don't
fun.
you I mean, you could get an intern to do that. You shouldn't have an Australian phone screener.
I don't. Sirius doesn't give us interns anymore. They don't give us. They don't give the morning mashup anything. We're lucky to have a
What about
producer.
Stan?
Do you know what happened? First of all, I answer the phones like the rest of the phones when the producer can't answer the phones. Like that's like fine, I do it. One
But
time,
when you're a listener, when I was a kid and I would call up radio shows and the host would pick up, I'd immediately go like, "Oh, I guess this really isn't that big of a deal."
Well,
you know,
I guess we're not that big of a deal.
Oh, I guess they're not that famous.
You're
I thought they
right.
were a huge show.
I think it sounds like that. But like one time I was really busy and I was doing something for the show and I was like, Stan, can you please get the call? Stan knows this. I screamed at him and he goes, picture that. I was like, you can't physically pick up the phone. He's like, it's not my job. I was like, it's not my job either.
Right.
But I'm the girl, so I should pick up the phone.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is a man.
Yeah.
Genetically superior, so you
Right.
would think that
Right.
would go without saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, but we're still going. This will be our 12th year.
My God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, especially since like people have dropped off that show and you've maintained,
We have maintained.
even with all your social habits.
Yes.
been able to-
I'm still standing. I'm still kicking.
Have you had any dreams about me?
I've not had any dreams about you.
Mm.
I know, but that was one of the crazier things that ever happened in life, and I'll never forget how uncomfortable I felt when I saw you. 'Cause I didn't remember the dream until I ran into you in the hallway, and I was like, it felt like back in the day when I was still dating and like sleeping around, and,
Right.
And then just like, you know, like it was like we had a one night stand, and I ran into you in the
Well,
hall, and it was like awkward.
So glad that I met you after we were both married. Good timing, Roberts. Good timing.
Yeah.
So I went on the air one night on my show, and you guys have never let me forget about it. You weren't there, I don't think, but Jess and I had just been hanging out at your place with you and your husband.
Yeah.
And like I went on the air and made the observation that the energy of sexuality and violence
Yeah.
is so thick in
Yeah.
your family, and it's weird because like when the kids are out, it's this wonderful like everybody's happy family, and then once the kids go to bed, shit gets so weird.
Yeah.
And I said that when you're sitting there hanging out with you guys, whether you guys are intending it or not, and this time you were not. It was just a social
Yeah, we were
like
hanging.
that's it.
Few people over.
But like there's an energy in your place
Yeah.
where as a person, I'm sitting there going at any moment,
Yeah.
an orgy or a violent altercation
Yes.
could break out here. And these are people that have known each other for years. And by the way, should either of those things break out, and
Yes.
one of them will, everybody will wake up the next morning and just get brunch as if nothing happened.
You are 100 million% correct.
So when you're over at my place,
Yeah. It's not the same vibe.
no, I would like. Do you think to yourselves like what? Because to you, the vibe that I just described is just normal.
It is very
like
normal.
like that high stress,
Yeah.
hairline trigger, whatever
Yeah.
that phrase is.
Yeah.
like that. You just live there. So when you come to my place and like,
It's so relaxing. It's like zen and like delicious and cozy and
yeah, I feel like when you're in my house, not only do you not feel like, oh, there's a risk of something weird happen.
Right.
You sit down and you realize no matter how hard we try, nothing interesting will ever happen
not
in this house.
interesting, nothing dangerous.
Nothing. Like there is nothing here that pushes any boundaries whatsoever. We will sit, we will chat. Maybe
will
somebody
eat
will put a
cookies.
movie on.
Yeah.
If we take out a board game, we'll just play the board game.
Totally. Right. Not
know,
naked. Nothing,
nothing.
weird will happen.
Nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, you're saying that like that's something that you like shouldn't be proud of. Like
Why would I be proud of that?
because I'm not proud that you walk into my house when other people that I've known for years give you the vibe that there's going to be a fight or an orgy.
It's you that gives me the vibe, not the
just
other
me.
people. When you're a big
just
part of it. Yeah, of course it's you.
I mean, that's just who I am. Love me or leave me.
Well, you
dude.
should be proud of it because it makes you interesting. That's like when I go like, I don't drink, and people are like, oh, good for you. Good. And I'm like, yeah, if you really thought it was good for me,
Right.
then why are you going out tonight and having a good time? Why are you looking forward to drinking right now as we speak? It's not good for me that I'm afraid to try new things and just sit here needing control over everything at all times.
Okay, but that's just like you. Everyone is different, and that's okay to be different.
Is
Sam.
it?
I am a crazy person. You are friends with a crazy person who happens to have a crazy vibe in her life and in her home, apparently.
Yeah.
And and
Apparently.
I think that it's great that you pick up on it.
Yeah.
And that you
I'm very observational.
You are very observational.
I'm an analytical guy.
And that you weren't scared.
That's because you're sober.
Yes.
You
I
know
am.
what's happening.
Yes.
I do know.
We don't. We just know it's time to fuck or fight. One or the other. That's it.
Man.
Because that's what your basic human animalistic instincts tell you.
And that's how we've always acted before we had any responsibilities of being married or having kids. Like I've always just like Ann Matt, I've always just done what we wanted when we wanted.
Right.
Anything was there for the taking, so we took it.
There's never a thought of like what happens in the future because of this.
No, and that's not a good thing either, and that's not necessarily something I'm proud of. But
Repercussions are for pussies, Sam.
amen.
I wish somebody had told me.
Yeah.
Because I am an upside down diamond. All I think about, and then there's never a moment of like, oh, what does this mean right now? Oh, right now, instincts, right now. It's always like, no, because this leads there and that leads there.
No, that's boring. Who lives life like that? You.
Me.
I don't know why I just asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that. And again, sometimes it's been a good thing, and many times it's led to me waking up and coming to you at the office and being like,
Yeah, but I've never sat there and been like, oh no, not another Nicole story. I'm like, yeah.
Give
What
me
happened?
more,
What
give me
happened?
more.
What happened?
I know.
You know, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's who we are, and I don't know if it's ever going to
Like
change.
one day my child will come to me and be like, oh, Dad, the craziest thing happened. Do you have any advice for me? And I'm going to go like, yeah, call Aunt Nicole. I don't know.
She's
I don't
got
know
you covered.
I don't know anything about this.
Or tell me, and I'll let you know if I can handle it. If it's Nicole status, here.
Yeah. Although Nicole would just be like, oh, I'm glad you called me. A shot of Scotch will do the trick. It won't be a problem. Excuse my laryngitis again.
I mean,
Just had laryngitis for 15 years.
it's just never going away. So she just keeps drinking Scotch in hopes that it will.
So you did your morning show with no voice yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I went and I was waiting for them to be like, this is not working, but they just thought it was hysterical, and just like, then I like tried to whisper like this, and that didn't work. I did the best I could. Not a lot of sound was coming out. Like a lot more sound is coming out today.
All right.
Yesterday was really iffy.
But they just let you keep going.
Yeah, they're freaking assholes.
You thought that you go in and it's like, I'm going to show that I pushed to get here.
No, I didn't want to go home. I felt okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't being like, hey, look at me, and then wanting them to send me home. It wasn't like that.
How do you get laryngitis?
I don't know. I mean, I started feeling a little sick, so I started taking stuff like zinc and Zicam and stuff to ward it off. But I don't know. I just woke up. I've been prone to it. I've always gotten it since I was a kid. And
It's not the same way Michael Douglas got cancer, is it?
I don't think it was that way.
Good.
I haven't done.
Especially since when you're a kid. That's totally
Right?
out of line.
Yeah, I was not going down on chicks when I was like 8. It wasn't like my steez.
Good.
Yeah, and I don't think I've gone down on a chick in a while, so I don't think it was from that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, I think.
What's a while?
I mean, it's been
You
a while.
opened the door.
And I mean, I don't know. Not this year.
Oh, okay.
Not this year.
All right, not this year.
We'll go
And we'll
with
leave
that.
it there. I think
Yes,
that's
I think that's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing for the holidays?
Family stuff. Just go and hang out with the Ryans.
So you're not doing your-
eating and drinking.
You're not doing the Nicole Ryan live in Times Square on the internet
No,
show?
I wish I was. I made so much money. No, I made so much freaking money. If anyone wants to hire me, I'm available.
I'm glad that like you have the right perspective on things. It's not like, oh, I wish I did. That was so much fun. Or I love talking to the people out there. You're like, oh, I wish I was doing that gig. It was a lot of money.
Literally like 10 below.
Yeah.
One of the years I was pregnant, so I wasn't even able to drink, so that was no fun.
Right.
And I was up there freezing my ass off. It wasn't really that fun. I mean, yes, it's a cool experience being there, but it's kind of weird watching all these people with like diapers down in Times Square.
Yeah.
They don't let you pee. Which is bizarre to me. They like put you in pens starting at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They make you stay there for the cameras, and you're not allowed to leave. So like tourists like line up and
Oh yeah, and I guess because of terrorism and stuff, they don't
Yeah.
let people like
yeah,
walk
it's not all
around.
it's cracked up to be completely honest.
I've never understood anybody that wants to. I get wanting to work in Times Square for New Year's, but I never understood anybody wanting to just stand there.
I'm sure you'd be into the experience, but I'm telling you that Jack was nice.
You
The
think
experience
so?
is cool. Like I've worked in Times Square on New Year's Eve, but like I've done it a few times. Like I'm cool.
How like? I always want to find those gigs because it's not like it wasn't on a network or anything. I'm not
Yeah.
saying like
I was working for a brand. I was working for a brand. So whoever's like sponsoring the Times Square.
how come there are brands, right?
Yeah.
That'll go like, okay, we're gonna pay a whole bunch of money to do this New Year's show that like not really that many people are gonna watch, but
Right.
it's just to be there, right?
Yeah.
And then I go like, hey, you want to advertise on my show? And they're like, how many listeners? Nah, I don't think so. And it's like, but I'm talking to all these people every single week.
Yeah, but I mean, think about like in Times Square, how many people they get to watch that like the New Year's Rockin' Eve and like.
You're not on New Year's Rockin' Eve. You're on a different show.
But they're all in that same area, and so any network.
Oh, meaning because there's people and you're in the background of.
Yeah, and everything's just like signage everywhere. I mean, it's pretty good promotion for that, whatever brand it is.
I love what CNN does on New Year's because they never book any talent themselves. They just throw the Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffin up there. I guess this year it's Andy Cohen because Kathy Griffin tried to behead the president.
Yeah, it didn't really work out well for her, did it?
But they never book any actual like talent. But whenever other networks have acts playing in Times Square, they're like, "Hey, look, it's Smash Mouth over there."
Yeah.
Like, they're just letting the other networks like book talent and stages and stuff.
Why not?
And letting these bands perform. We theorized on the air. Do you think Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen are going to make out on New Year's?
I do not think that's
when the ball drops.
If they do or ever have, I think it's definitely in private. But I do really believe that they're actually really good. Two men who are gay who happen to be good friends.
But they could have made out in private before.
It might have happened.
Right.
I don't know if it necessarily has, but it's not going to ever happen in front of us.
You don't think on New Year's when you're supposed to kiss somebody when the ball drops that they're going to just like kiss each other a little bit?
It'd be freaking awesome. It's just not going to happen. It would be.
Why? They make like didn't Kathy Griffin like try to like molest Anderson Cooper? Like that's the whole gimmick of the show. Like let's make Anderson Cooper do that weird giggle that he does.
Oh my god, I don't know if Andy coming for him for like a smooch would make him do the
Oh my
weird
god,
giggle.
he wouldn't giggle. He'd grab the back of his head and just.
Is there anything funnier than the giggle?
Go in. I mean,
wish
it's
I
really.
Could do, my voice is so messed up right now, but like I don't think I've ever laughed harder than when I saw
Really makes it. But then the problem is he comes back on Monday and he's like, okay, now here's the real news, and we're like, shut up, giggles.
You know that like that's like his thing. Like everybody has like a weird ism. That was his ism, and he never wanted that to come out live on television, and it did.
Troy and I theorized on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts that there may be a standing 69 when the ball drops on New Year's.
I mean, I'm down. See, now that would be living. Don't think too far ahead. What are the repercussions of this?
Yeah.
You just take your clothes off, you flip yourself around, and you make it happen.
Right. Anderson Cooper's not sitting there going like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover elections after this. They're like, don't worry about that.
Right.
You're going to enjoy tonight.
Yes.
That's the thing.
That is the thing.
So you don't even think they'll kiss like just ceremoniously?
I know you want it to happen. It's not going to happen. I know you want me to say it's going to happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen because
you're the gossip reporter.
Yeah,
you're the 411.
Yes, and again, there couldn't be anything juicier, but it's not going to actually go down.
Well, you've got this on tape now. I really hope it does go down.
Okay, I hope.
Sam Champion is the wild card in that threesome. Did you know that? He's like their toss around boy.
Wait, you mean for New Year's or just in general?
All the time.
Just like
that's what I do.
Hey, call the toss around boy.
That's what Champion does. Just letting you know.
He just tosses around.
He might make out with both of them and then jerk them off while telling the weather.
Is Sam Champion really doing the New Year's thing with them?
He's doing something with them.
On that show?
All the time.
Sam Champion's going to be on the CNN show?
He'll be in the background performing 69.
On that note, I'm pretty sure we have to go relieve our nanny.
You do.
Is there anything lamer?
It's really...
I got to go party tonight to regain my not lameness.
Well, listen, Nicole, I'm glad we had time, even though this is a shorter show than usual. You have to
How
come
long
back.
Are your shows?
An hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the Not Samsonites.
I'm sorry, Not Samsonites. I love you. I'm sorry I sound like this, like Peter freaking Brady. It's
They're
not
sitting
cute.
there. Look at this.
Who's
you got
there?
Miguel from Los Angeles
What's up,
saying,
Miguel?
is that mashup Nicole?
It is.
You got Blue 55 just with the phrase standing 69.
Yes.
Chris the teacher.
Hi, Chris. I miss you, Chris.
Chris says, I'll hire you.
You
Adult
will.
services required.
All right. We could sit down and negotiate.
Yeah. This is good.
I
This is
like
good.
it.
People are loving it.
Love you guys.
All the Not Samsonites come in. And yeah, Miguel says this stinks because you have to leave.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, freaking kids. Oh, look at my lovely producer husband says I can have 5 more minutes. Isn't that sweet of
Isn't
him?
that nice? You got 5. You got 5. We got time. We got time.
He's enjoying himself. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just...
No, everything's
ruining the
fine.
whole set. This is amazing.
Sam Roberts Now Studios.
I mean, it's kind of badass. I don't know what I expected it to look like. It looks really great when I've
You
seen
could
it.
have just followed me on social media. You'd know. You could just look at my YouTube channel. You'd know exactly what it looks like.
It looks amazing when I've seen it posted, but I'm now in person in the studio, and
I see. It's not one of those things that you go to the studio and it looks all like small and garbage when you're in person.
Bomb.
Well, that was part of it. When we were designing this thing, I was like, it has to look cool when you see it in person.
Right.
As well as on camera.
So you gonna have some weird shit go down in here? Are you gonna invite crazy guests like you do?
I just did. You.
Oh, I'm the crazy
And you're
shit
like,
that's
I have
going
to
down?
go home. My nanny needs to be.
Sorry, do you want to pair? I don't want to pay her extra.
No, I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Sam Roberts Now comes live from the Sam Roberts compound.
So you just like go on live whenever you feel like it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Or whenever people come over.
And you don't like think like, oh my God, the repercussions. Oh my God. what
No,
can happen?
I'm way more spontaneous than
You
that.
are
I'm just
so
kind of,
spontaneous.
just kind of loosey goosey about the whole thing.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, no, I want to, and like we have space in front of
Yeah,
us.
I like it.
And so like part of me really wants to do a show with an audience down here.
I mean, you could. You have tons of room.
I want to have like all the Not Samsonites down here, but
Then they know where you live.
that's the problem.
I
That's
mean,
the
love
problem.
you guys and all, but
I want to have the
scary.
Filthy Brothers here.
The Filthy Brother? No. Oh my God.
They're my friends again.
My mom texted me the other day. She was like, do you know those twin tall black men that stand outside? Are they on Sirius? And I was like, really?
If Sam Roberts has anything to say about it, they are.
First of all, how are you friends again? Because they have every right to hate you. And they still tweet me and tag them on the Coco and Ice Tea show.
letting you know they were on TV one time.
They were on once.
Yeah, so they were. Were you in the day I really pissed them off with the
I don't know,
Rugrats stuff?
No.
Who Kid was?
No, you played the Rugrats every time you told them to rap. Yes,
you were there. Okay,
Yeah.
that infuriated them.
Well, it was a dick move.
So the Filthy Brothers, for those that don't know, are two twin black guys. They're probably like what 6'4",
They're
6'5"?
close to 7 feet tall.
Okay, all right, even taller than that. But they hang out there. These two skinny black guys that hang out outside Sirius a lot, like 3 or 4 days a week.
Just scrounging for pictures with celebrities that come out.
Right, they try to get pictures with celebrities and put their mixtape album
Yes.
that they made themselves out in front of the picture. So like I was fascinated by them, and I started inviting them up to the studio.
Right.
And like were you there the first time they came up, where they just they came up with like envelopes full of printed photos?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
and they
just
just
to
put them all
prove
over the
that
table.
They knew celebrities.
Right, and they had like one of them brought their birth certificate because they didn't have a driver's license and they needed ID to get in the building.
And that's all he had?
A hard copy, not a Xerox, of his birth certificate that was folded up and put in his pocket.
That's a scary thing to carry around.
Your birth certificate?
Yeah, kind of. I feel like that's something that needs to be safe, put away.
No, you need to your ID.
But if you don't
Like
have a
imagine going to the TSA and you're like, here's my birth certificate.
that is a perfectly like okay form of ID though.
Well, you're a nut if you do it.
Okay.
But it is legitimate, I
Is
guess.
there another form of ID that's not passport or license?
Well, you can get an identification card. Like the government can issue you identification.
It's called an identification card?
Well, that's what ID stands for.
No, I know, but like what is on it? It's just like
It's
a picture
a
of you that
photo
says you're you?
and all your information on it. The same thing that's on your driver's license, except it doesn't say driver's license on the top.
That's lame.
Like on your driver's license, it doesn't say like what your kind of car you have.
No,
it
but, like-
just has your information on it.
So like can I have an
DOB?
Can I get an identification card like also if I want that too?
Sure.
So I can like go get one? I just go to the DMV and they
Do you
just,
really want one
Wait,
now?
I don't go to the DMV to get it. Where do I get it? I don't know.
Huh?
You go to DMV?
DMV, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you go to DMV and you're like, I don't want to learn to drive. I just want one of those slick cards.
I don't think I've ever met anybody who has one of those.
You don't slum it.
Oh, it's a slum type thing.
Well, if you are not in an environment where anybody's there to teach you how to drive a car.
Right. Well, maybe you don't. I mean, so look. Oh, yeah. How about this? Like in New York City, a lot of people that grew up in New York City, they don't have any reason to learn to drive. Then they live in an apartment. They take cabs.
Well, you know what
take-
option they have?
What?
They can get an ID.
Right. So like that. Like, are there people who, like very like rich? I guess if you're rich, you'd freaking learn to drive no matter what.
Yes, people who
I'm
no,
just trying
not
to figure
people
out,
who are rich.
I deal with this every day.
Wait, but
of
I'm
my
just
life.
wondering, like,
Yeah.
are there like affluent people who just like live in the city and don't have a car? Their parents don't have a car. They like live in and they go to school there and they have a nice apartment, but they don't have a car, so they have no reason to learn to drive. And that they have one of these IDs. That
I'm sure you
aren't-
could find a person who's affluent and just decided to get an ID, but most people who are affluent would probably just get a driver's license. Does that answer that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So, but they didn't have an ID. They had their birth certificate with
Okay,
them.
back to the Filthy Brothers.
So they came up and I had them up like 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
and I kind of goof on them a little bit here and there.
Okay,
And then-
more than that, you were a raging douche.
I don't think so. But then I had them up and they wanted to freestyle.
I know.
So I was like, all right, let's put on a beat. And they started getting... So the first thing I did was start putting on old TV show themes like Rugrats and Price is Right. And they got pissed. They were like, no, we want real rap beats. We want hard beats. Something that we can rap to. I was like, okay,
Not
no
a
problem.
xylophone going do 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 do
Right.
do 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 do.
And this is where they started to get really pissed because I had instructed my producer already.
Was this Adrian?
I don't remember who. It was either Adrian or Sal. I don't remember who it was. But it might have been Adrian. I had instructed, but it wasn't the night show. I don't think it was. I think it was still the Friday afternoon show. But I told him this would probably happen. So I said, when they do that, here is a bank with real rap lyrics on, with real rap beats on it. Give them 7 seconds
Of that.
fade it down, and then
put
bring
Rugrats.
up the Rugrats song again. And he was like, okay, you got it. And so that's what we did. And they got super, super pissed, especially because Who Kid was in there, because they thought I was trying to ruin their reputation in
Yeah.
front of DJ Who Kid.
Which, I mean, they didn't need you to ruin their reputation.
Well, that's you talking, Nicole.
Right.
But you know,
Sorry, guys.
Who Kid's got the respect of the hip hop community.
getcha.
So they were furious with me. And then the lovely Not Samsonites started tweeting them, going, "Hey, they want you. Sam wants you back on the show on Wednesday. He wants you in there every Wednesday to give advice." Because I had them in once, and they were like, "We'll come back every week." And I was like, "Well, we'll figure that out." Because I was like, "I'm not ready to make that commitment."
Yeah.
But the Not Samsonites tweeted them and told them, "Yes, you're on."
That's not cool either.
Well, most people would see these tweets and just ask somebody, but instead they just showed up to the building.
And then they weren't allowed up.
Adrian told me the Filthy Brothers are downstairs, and I said, "Well, they can't come up, man. I just had them on last week. They can't come up. I didn't invite them up." So I got to get on the phone with them, and then they threatened physical violence against me, and I tried to explain to them that just because a random person tweets them does not mean that they're invited to the show, that anybody can do that.
Right.
Anybody, like if I tweet you, "Hey, good news, you're on the Tonight Show tonight," you're not actually on it.
So how did they respond?
Violently
Continue.
and angry.
Okay.
And yes, and it was very bad for many, many months.
Yes, many, many months. And would you try to go out the opposite exit?
I avoided them.
Yeah.
They're big guys. And finally one day, and like probably over a year went by, and I was outside the building, and they came up to me, and they go, "Sam," and I was like, "Oh shit, I might get punched in the face here." Which, if I get punched in the face, that's kind of been my philosophy for a long time. If I get punched in the face, I get punched in the face. I can't really blame.
That's your philosophy?
Well, there's people who want to punch me in the face, and if what am I gonna do?
I don't know, punch them back?
Well, no, because I did things that deserve a punch in the face. So
Gotcha,
it's not. I'm not
gotcha.
sitting like I wouldn't like if like the Filthy Brothers came up to me and punched me in the face, I wouldn't get angry and be like, "Oh, you want to fight?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I can see where you would want to do that."
Gotcha.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think
Very
so.
self-aware.
But still, I far prefer not to get punched in the face. I've heard
It's gotta hurt
sucks.
bad. Yeah.
Matt, punch in the face, good or bad?
It's not the best thing.
Okay.
But if you continue to talk to my wife like that, you may find out.
See, if Matt came up to me and punched me in the face, I'd be like, "Yeah, I get that." So, so they came up to me and they're like, "Sam," and I was like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" As if we're all still buddies. And they go, "We just want you to know it was disrespectful what you did. We don't like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And they were like, and also you had Troy Ave, who's another rapper, in studio, and you were talking to him about what you did to us. And I was like, "Yeah," because I did do that. And they were like, "That was really disrespectful." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Like,
You didn't say sorry.
Were you nervous? Like legit nervous?
I don't know if I was like nervous because it was just happening. Like it's one of those things where this is just happening
In the moment type of thing.
right? And like when that moment happens, I'm not sitting there going like I'm gonna try to get out of getting punched in the face. It literally is what I just explained to you guys.
Yeah.
Like this could
You're
happen
not
here.
in those situations very often.
No.
Not
Except
very
for with
often.
Virgil, maybe.
Virgil, yes,
Virgil, he put both of us in danger.
I did. I did. He
mean-
came at me with a pair of scissors.
And me.
And by the way, if the Filthy Brothers had a pair of scissors on them, I would try to avoid that because I don't want to
They
get
did,
stabbed.
Sam. They 100% have a pair of scissors.
They have something on
have
them. I don't know
something.
what it is, but there's something in their
Except
pockets.
for talent.
Well, that's Matt talking. That's Nicole's husband.
Not Sam.
Luckily, I'm a charming guy.
You are?
Because when I was just like, "Yeah, I did do that. You're right. Yeah, it was disrespectful. Yeah." And they go, "So we just wanted you to know that." I was like, "Oh, okay." And they were like, "So we're cool now." And I was like, "Oh,
They
great."
just wanted to get it off their chest. They wanted that cathartic moment, which I kind of respect.
Yeah. They were like, "So we're cool now." And I was like, "Oh, great." And then they said, "And if you want to have us back up on the show, we're not asking, but we're around."
Okay.
I was like, "Guys, I'm going to keep that in mind because I may want to take you up on that."
Are you going to?
All I want to do is get him back in the studio and get him like maybe pissed at me again.
Well, no, but Sam, don't
It's
do it.
I know, I'm just like it's like an addiction. Like I'm like,
I get
how
it.
funny would it be if they got pissed at me again?
I know,
It's
but-
like, why would you do this? We forgave you. Why are you being an asshole again?
Yeah, they should know what they're walking
And
into.
I'm like, because it's funny.
Because you're not Sam. That's what you do.
Right. So,
gosh,
so that's where we're at. All right, I gave you your 5 minutes, right? Do you guys got a split?
Yes, we have to
I
go.
extended the
What did you
lady's
tell?
time.
Sorry, I'm
I
checking.
told her we'll be home when we get home, girl.
That's right.
Girl,
for
yeah.
for $20 an hour, we will be home when we get home.
Oh, God.
You let the help know.
That's right. right.
Good.
She's a lovely woman.
Good.
Lovely Filipino
Nicole,
woman.
can you remind everybody what your theory on the help is?
What? You have a theory on the help?
What did I say? You must train the help.
You must train them.
What?
No,
Yeah.
someone told me that once. Like when you first get,
You know what happens when you have an attitude like that? The help shits in your pie and watches you eat it. You ever seen that movie?
This person was that's a great movie. All I'm saying
Apparently
is,
you didn't get the message.
No, all I'm saying is when you first hire somebody, whether it's somebody who's going to clean your house or a nanny who's taking care of your children, make sure when you first start the relationship, you let them know what you want and how you want things done, so there's not a discrepancy in.
You gotta
so
train
Matt,
that.
So whenever like Matt's unhappy about something, he bitches to me about it, and I say, go home and tell her you want this done, and he just bitches to me about it. If you want
I'm
something,
smart enough not to do that
Why?
because she could shit in my pie.
She could shit in your
she
pie.
doesn't bake us
She
pies.
could shit in Parker's pie, and Parker loves pie.
Your little girl loves pie. That's not good.
Who doesn't?
You have a vulnerability then.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how we talked about things that won't age well, like the marijuana thing will?
Yeah.
You saying you have to train the help.
That's also
That's
true.
not gonna age.
That wasn't my thing. That was something that before I hired a nanny, this woman told me. Somebody that I know, their mother said I thought it was weird the way that she said it. So Matt laughed that she said, you must train the help. It was very weird and degrading, but she was kind of right.
Nicole, when I first started doing the solo show,
Yeah.
that was when, remember, it was like Friday, it was like noon, right? We were on at noon.
Yeah.
And I brought you over to that tiny little studio in the Sirius's Jouk.
I loved it there.
Right. And I remember you were on the show with me the day that Donald Trump announced he was running for president.
Yes.
And I said to you, we're going all the way with this. This is happening.
And I said, no, we're not.
And you were like, this is a joke.
It was a joke. It still is my joke.
Is it a joke still?
Well, I mean, it's happening, and
Yeah,
it's
or-
not. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not.
What was your? Do you
Don't
follow
make
it
me,
at all?
I'm not doing the politics.
I'm just asking if you follow it at all.
Do you think I follow it?
Well, now it's like I don't know the difference between politics and celebrity gossip anymore.
This is how much I follow it. I'm flipping through my Instagram,
Yeah.
and then I see everybody hopping on some hashtag bandwagon, whatever it is, or someone talking about like resisting something, and
Right.
then I'm like, Matt, what's this about? What's this bill about? And he says it, and he goes off on a rant like he's on Fox News.
Right.
And then I say, okay, I got it. And I know what's semi going on, and then I go back to La La Land because ignorance is bliss to me, and you know that, and I will.
We went live down here when the Alabama election happened, and Roy Moore came within a 1% chance of winning.
She doesn't know what you're talking
I know he's the guy on the horse.
He's an accused pedophile.
Yeah, the horse pedophile dude.
The horse pedophile. He sleeps with ponies.
He's into ponies, into banging ponies. I don't know. I just know.
I mean, but you don't like. There's nothing like that. Doesn't interest you in the sense that we're at a place in America
Right.
where like there is a raging debate
Yeah.
as to whether or not the accused pedophile should be.
no,
governor
I know it's
or whatever, the congressman.
It's terribly irresponsible of me to be like, I don't want to talk about it, and everybody's like, we have a responsibility to speak up.
You got
and
a
to-
pet. You got a responsibility.
But like, I don't. It makes me uncomfortable, and all these conversations always end up in fights, and maybe they always end up in fights when I'm with that one over there.
Yeah.
But usually when I'm at a table or in a room with a lot of people who are talking politics and whatever side it is, it ends up in this argument that it's like, it's not fun.
No, you're right.
It's not fun.
And it's only gotten way less fun.
Yeah, because I mean, now it's like, it's scary, some of the stuff.
Like, it's very difficult for me. I like to have conversations where I'm like, how funny is like this thing, right? Like,
Right.
and you bring up politics, but inevitably somebody goes like, well, you know, Obama, and I'm like, I'm just trying to have fun,
Right, but
like,
no.
I just think it's like, isn't it ridiculous what's happening? Well, no more ridiculous than Hillary Clinton and Bob. And you're like,
Right.
okay, I understand.
Yeah.
We're picking our sides of the fence, but can we just laugh at the absurdity?
Yeah, like we had somebody over last night that
Absurdity. The man is a racist. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
We had a friend over
I
last
know
night.
it's a sensitive time.
She was like, you know, it's just terrible. Everybody in the world is like so unhappy now. And I was like, okay. And then she goes, what are your tax implications? And I was like, what's happening? What's happening right now? And then I looked at Matt, and he was just like, all right. Because he knows, like, I think even he knows it's not, again, it's not fun. It's never been fun. And I think you always thought it was fun because I don't know what I'm talking
It
about.
was fun when Trump was running for president.
Right.
That was the funnest time ever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people weren't so sensitive about it because they didn't think it was really going to happen. And we could just laugh at the absurdity of it. Now it's not fun anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
It's still kind of fun. I mean, I still watch it and
I
like
know
go
you
like,
do.
oh my God, this is amazing.
Do you watch both sides?
Yeah, I tried it lately though. I mean, I watch so much less cable news than ever. Like, I try to limit myself to 20 minutes a day of cable news because it makes me feel like a crazy person. It's like, so there's just like so much sludge and toxicity and like people shouting and humorless people on it.
Yeah.
Although I like Tucker Carlson, but
Oh my God, I fall asleep to that man every night and I want to kill myself.
I just like that I like when Tucker brings on, he does weird things. Like, I like that he brings on like college kids and argues with them. Like,
He's
I think
also
that's
so-
brilliant.
he's just
like,
a dick.
Tucker will there'll be like an article in a college newspaper. And it'll be this controversial thing. Like, this student wrote this article in this college newspaper about whatever snowflake thing is happening, right? And instead of Tucker bringing on a professor or an expert to argue with, he brings on the kid who wrote the article and just
Lambs to the slaughter. It's amazing.
And
He
the
just eviscerates.
aren't they great? And the kid always comes on like with this smug look on his face because he just sits around with his friends watching, like reading the Huffington Post and just knowing that Tucker Carlson is an idiot and the enemy, but he's never actually watched the show.
Yeah.
And so he comes on thinking that like, I'm gonna make this guy look like such an idiot.
Yeah.
And Tucker just eats him for lunch.
He always does, it's become semi-relaxing to me now. I hear his voice because I'm forced to fall asleep to it often.
Do you look at his face when he lets other people talk and he goes like this? He's like,
Yeah. Can they see him?
yeah.
They can see the faces that each other are making.
Yeah, as he's talking, he's just like.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a douche.
So
I mean,
wait, what we're saying is, and the one everybody falls for it every time. Like he loves bringing on people with immigration.
Yeah.
And then people are like, no, we should allow. I'm not saying open the borders. I'm saying allow some illegal immigrants to be here. And Tucker's like, okay, fine. How many? How many illegal immigrants is good? How many do you want? How many? That's all I'm asking. It's an easy question. How many?
Yeah.
And nobody's got that answer. He's done it. I've seen him do it a dozen times. Nobody ever sits there, watches the show, and thinks to themselves, I need to have an answer to how many. Because he's definitely going to ask
Like, do you
me.
think Tucker was like cool in high school?
No.
Like, no.
He's cool now.
Like, no, I don't know. Like, he looks like
He is the man.
he seems like he went to like my high school, like Greenwich High School. Like,
You know
he's
what?
got this,
I'll
like-
tell you this. What I've heard about Tucker Carlson is he's got this like absurd level of confidence.
Of course, it oozes from him.
Where it's not like you know how you were before we got on, you were like, oh Matt, you should come on the show so you could know what it's like to get roasted by social media.
Mm-hmm.
And like for you, there's a part of you that like no matter what you say, if you get shit on social media, you go like like you don't
Yeah.
and you kind of think twice, whatever. Tucker apparently
Can't stand
is fully unaffected
Oh.
by any criticism. He doesn't care. He's so confident that none of it affects
Like,
him.
they are literally non-events.
Precisely.
All those people that are tweeting him horrible things about himself.
Well, that guy's an idiot. Well, that
Yeah,
guy doesn't know what he's
right.
talking about. Because in case those guys didn't know,
Got like God
I'm the
complex.
Tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuck. I wish
then-
they called him the Tuck.
Hey, if I ever was on his show, I'd be like, wow, it's great to be here, the Tuck.
Love ya.
Yeah. The Tuck says. But then, and he does awesome stuff. Like the other day, everybody's talking about this
Do you
election.
like DVR him or you watch him live?
No, I watch him live, and I don't watch the whole show. I just watch him in increments here. But the other day, he goes on, and he's like, everybody's talking about this election or this tax thing or whatever. And Tucker is the only person who's like, hey, everybody, good news. Months after it's happened, we're live from Las Vegas because we're going to get to the bottom. We're going to see if anybody can get to the bottom of this Las Vegas shooting because it's been months and everybody's just forgotten about it. And nobody has decided to care that none of us know what
I
happened.
think we watched that night, actually.
When Tucker was live in Las Vegas?
Yeah, when he's freaking about that. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
We,
but
we
it's
watch
great.
every night, but you're normally asleep.
I'm usually asleep.
But it's great because it's true.
yeah.
Like,
What
nobody.
happened in Las Vegas?
Nobody
where
knows.
We still don't
Dozens
know.
of people were brutally murdered at a country show.
Hundreds.
From the.
Was it
most
dozens or
popular-
hundreds?
Dozens. 54
Dozens.
maybe.
Yeah, that's right. 54.
Total
like
stabs
60.
and stuff, right?
Yeah. Hundreds were injured.
Yes.
Dozens. Were
No, it was like
killed.
400 were injured.
We don't
Yeah.
even know what happened.
We have no clue.
It
Doesn't,
is
none of it
bizarre.
makes any sense.
Well,
But it's
the
like.
Tuck's
and
gonna
Tucker
get to-
didn't find shit out. By the
No,
way.
he didn't. He didn't.
The Tuck went back home.
He just wanted to throw some blood in the water. All right, guys, go for it. Hey, internet, this is for you.
It was Fusion 1 who did it, according to him, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
the
believe
fact
it.
that you both love the Tuck
Tuck?
so much makes me want to vomit
How
all
can
over
you not
you
love
and
the Tuck?
storm out of here.
I'll tell you this.
Is he married with kids?
Of course he is.
Seen him?
He can't keep that thing in his pants.
He is kind of handsome.
He's very handsome. And I like that he doesn't go to the gym. I like that he's got that, flab around his neck and stuff. He's
Like
not
skinny
in...
fat?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm skinny fat. And I'm like, see?
I feel like you're not skinny fat.
You are out of your mind.
So like, you feel like you got a little flab?
Mm-hmm.
There's some flab.
Yeah.
Do you ever intend on going to the gym?
No.
Why?
Why?
Do you ever? I mean, do you? I remember the one time you went to a class with Jess, you threw up.
I threw up.
But maybe that is a sign that you need to do a little bit more cardiovascular
Maybe that's a sign
activity.
I don't belong there. When I eat something and I throw up, I don't eat it again.
Oh, okay.
Right?
It's not the same thing.
Well,
I
kind of
mean-
feels that way. I'll probably start drinking a little less soda, a little more water, and I'll watch the magical transformation happen.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
until a doctor tells me there's something horribly wrong, I probably won't change anything.
Okay. Well, no.
And I don't go to the doctor that much, so
Right. So that might not even happen for a very long time.
might not.
Okay.
Might be dead by the time it happens.
Okay, I hope that's not the case.
But
That
at
would make
least
me feel sad.
at least I'll go out feeling good.
Yeah.
What was your favorite entertainment story then of the year? Because you do the 411.
Well, I did get. I'm continuing to be sick of all the scumbag men that we're realizing.
Oh yeah,
now.
because in the 411 you do have to talk about
Yeah.
the sexual misconduct.
And like and my boss is always saying like, don't say in the 411, like try not to say like sex and rape and like penis and things like that. I'm
That's
like,
all celebrities are doing.
So then how do I say these stories? Like how do I write them? How do I describe them on the air? And I'm like, so and so was ripping up at his cock-a-doodle-doo in a plant in front of this actress. It's like it's very.
Did
very
you actually talk about Harvey Weinstein jerking off in a plant on the mashup?
Yes, and it was in so many words. I think it was like that.
Did you ever confront a man jerk off in a plant?
I did
Like,
not.
is there any part of that story that you're like, oh yeah, I see?
I did have somebody do that in front of me a long time ago. Sorry.
You had somebody jerk off in front of you?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
I did. I did.
Okay, so what would happen there?
I thought you were just the plant.
No, that is not the plan. It was a long time ago. I didn't mean for that to come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I never do.
No, you don't.
It
like
was
to leave it
it was
in.
like a long time ago, and it was somebody I shouldn't have been like in that type of.
You're blaming yourself?
I don't really blame myself, but I kind of was like, "Ugh, all right, fine, just do it.
Where was this?
It was in a stairway at
How-
like a hotel. I was very drunk.
And I don't want you to. Well, you can name the person. if
I'm
you
not
want,
gonna
yeah.
name the person.
Where did you know the person from?
They'd always been like hitting on me
Was it a coworker or a
No.
person that you knew socially?
socially.
Friend of a friend type person? And they always hit on you.
Yeah, and I just was like, I don't really want to do this, but I mean, you can jerk off and I'll stand here.
You told him that? You gave him permission to?
Yeah.
I've never heard this story.
So you go.
Was it the tuck?
That's why she's asking if he's married.
I just was like, I just want this over with. Just
So,
Do
okay.
you have
So,
a big load?
I don't remember. I just was wasted, dude. I just was like,
Ropes.
just let's get this.
so the guy is sitting there.
This is so inappropriate. Your child is down here
He's
now.
not. You don't know what he's doing. So he's got to hear it at some point. So the guy is hitting on you, and he's been hitting on you for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's not.
Were
my-
you giving him anything back?
I mean, like I was being flirty and cute, but like I never like wanted to like.
You were just trying to be
bang.
nice.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice.
A lot of times, like girls are trying to be nice, and guys are like, "See, she was into it," and you're like, "I just didn't want to
Yeah.
like completely call you out." So you're at a wedding, you said?
It wasn't a wedding. It was just like out at a.
Social gathering.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a stairwell. Did he go like, "Hey, come to the stairwell with me"?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like it was like, come with me, and I was like,
Were you married when this happened?
No.
By any chance? Okay, thank you. That's
No, I was
just
not
clear
married.
Great
things up.
question,
Does
actually.
the guy's name rhyme with Frat Brian?
no, I
So
was not.
you go to the stairwell because I don't know why you would be like,
Well,
okay,
it was like
yeah.
at a hotel. We were at like a club in a hotel.
But
'Cause
why
we used
when
to be
he
such
said
club rats?
Why would he said, "Hey, come to the stairwell for a second"? Were you like, yeah?
Well, he didn't say come to the stairwell. It was come with me, and then I was in a stairwell.
Oh, because you were like, okay, let's see. Okay, and then you're in a stairwell.
I'm
and-
sure I thought we were gonna like, I don't know what I thought.
Yeah.
Go party or something.
Right. And then he goes, okay.
Then he was trying, and I was like, and then I was like, I mean, you can jerk off if you want. He was like, okay. And I was like, all right. No. Okay, we done. Gotta go.
And when he did, what did he just like just pull it out a little bit and just start like?
I don't remember. It's not crystal clear.
Right.
I was overserved clearly because that's kind of weird and gross. Not
Yeah.
normally my style.
It isn't. I mean, I think it just like goes to prove what a nice person you
I
are.
mean, I like to be involved usually.
But just that you would sit there and go like, I don't want to embarrass you. You can do this to yourself.
He was into it, so I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I didn't have to touch you.
But
You
in that
got-
moment, you realize this is not my thing at all.
Yeah, but then I was like, whatever, and I went back and got another drink. And the party continued.
So it didn't ruin your time.
No,
Wow.
please.
Wow. What a
No.
woman.
Yeah.
What a
You
woman.
know, I'm a giver, and I just don't want you to ever forget it.
Yeah. You didn't know this man, huh?
I fully unaware of the giving aspect.
I'm
of
sorry,
her.
I don't.
She's more of a receiver,
Right. Right. Historically.
historical receiver.
Historically.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
mean,
can't. How was your relationship with this guy after?
It was fine.
Of course it was.
Cool. We were friends. We were
Why
friendly.
wouldn't it be fun? Just like
Yeah,
yeah.
like when we see each other out, it was like fine.
Kid Kelly's still her boss.
No, he's my boss.
No,
He's the
this was way before.
No, this was like when I first got to New York City. It was like when we were out, like and I was bouncing around and dating around and going out to meeting different guys.
So this was around the same time you had sex with a guy on a rock.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. You were promiscuous. You didn't know about that one? You knew about that.
In Central Park.
She told me that one on the radio.
Sounds so painful.
Yeah.
It was painful, but again, if you drink enough, you're good.
Yeah, you feel no pain is what they say. You feel no pain.
Okay, are we done now? Because now this is.
I mean,
just,
you gave it to me, right? That was kind of the thing with
Why
Nicole.
don't you tell him how we met, honey?
Yeah, I mean, we met out at a bar at 3 a.m. and I went home 10 minutes later and we had relations.
Intercourse?
We did.
P&V.
We did.
Nice.
It did work out. Look at now we're married with beautiful children. I mean,
I just think it's funny that this is the story of our life, Nicole. When I get you on the show, it's like it's just waiting for the story to come out. There's always going to be another story, and we either go like you're going to give it to me in 30 seconds. We're just going to start the show and go boom, or we kind of kibitz for about an hour, and then at the end you're like, well, there was the one stairwell.
Yeah, I forgot about. I really did forget about that guy until right now.
Well, you got to come to the show way more often because obviously I am like therapy for you.
You are
in the sense that everything.
I lay on the couch. I go into a bit of a trance, and then all of a sudden, whoops! Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy look at me and jerk off.
Right,
in a stairwell.
And Chris the teacher and Miguel and Corey Smith are all there to experience all this with you.
Glad you guys enjoyed.
Well, thank you all for joining in on the chat and being a part of this wonderful experience. Nicole.
Yes, I will be back ASAP.
Where can they find you?
Mashup Nicole on Instagram, on Twitter. Nicole Ryan on Facebook. Who gives a crap about Facebook, right?
Facebook.
You kind of over Facebook?
I'm kind of over all social media. I like YouTube. I like doing stuff like this, but I don't know. Social media.
Okay.
Instagram I like.
Yeah, Mashup Nicole
like
on Twitter and Instagram. That's all that really matters.
Okay, Mashup Nicole. And you'll be back at some point.
I mean, you know it.
I know it.
In 2018 ASAP. We got to get the kiddies together.
Right.
And then have them all come down and learn new things about their mother.
You bored Lila. She's asleep.
I know. I love you, Lila. She's so cute.
Thank you all for being part of Sam Roberts Now. Of course, this will live on forever on the Not Sam YouTube channel, which if you're watching this live, I hope you're already subscribed to it, because if you're subscribed to it, you can get notifications every single time we go live. You can also follow along the show's social media accounts, Sam Roberts Now, across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we have a YouTube channel, YouTube/Sam Roberts Now. It's a second YouTube channel where I upload clips from these shows.
Awesome.
Which Nicole has given us a few.
Thanks.
So,
no, actually not thanks. You're welcome.
yeah. Thank you,
welcome.
Nicole. And thank you, everybody. And we will see you next time right here on Sam Roberts Now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.